Which is better, Fargo the movie or Fargo the TV show? Oh yeah? Oh yeah. Fargo! Season 1. Now, Fargo stars Martin Freeman, Billy Bob Thornton, Allison Tolman, and Colin Hanks. And these four, respectively, are different people in one area in Minnesota that end up coming together due to a very unfortunate incident. And that is essentially two different incidents. One in particular is Billy Bob's Malvo. He gets into a car wreck. The thing that he was doing was essentially kidnapping and going to kill some man. The accident allows the man to leave, and Malvo goes to the hospital because he's sustained minor injuries. At the same time, the second incident is Martin Freeman's character, which is Lester Nygaard. Essentially gets himself into a bit of trouble by getting bullied by somebody from his past and lands him into the hospital meeting Malvo. Unfortunately, this results into not only Lester being pushed to his limits to do the unthinkable, kill his wife, and have a misunderstanding with Malvo as they meet in the hospital, and to say, listen, this guy who is your school bully or whatever, if he ever humiliated me like that, I would kill him. Say the word, and I will do it. Lester's like, gosh darn it, no, that's not what I'm trying to say. No, heck, no, don't do it. Malvo is just kind of like, I think this guy needs it, and I think it would be best. So essentially, he starts to go scope out the schoolyard bully. And then you also have Lester. We're watching his side of the character development, and it's kind of intriguing, and it's kind of suspenseful in a way. Of course, in steps Allison Tolman's character as Molly Solverson, and she essentially starts investigating the crime of the accident that, Malvo was in. And then when other things happen, you really have to see her grow probably more extremely than any other character, and she definitely has to pick up the plate when things really go wrong. And now Colin Hanks' role in all this is very interesting. He's more on the outsider looking in, so he finds himself in the middle of situations that he has no clue about. He plays a deputy as well as Molly Solverson, but they're in two different counties. So it's very interesting to see how much a crime expands, gets people involved, and then people are just following in the trail, and like 4 different incidences happen to where everyone starts realizing, we gotta work together. And that's essentially the entire plot in a nutshell that I can say without spoilers. Unfortunately, everything else is going to be a little bit harder for me to review because it is so off the wall. There's so much in this another 10 episode show that just gives you its all in style and in just perspective and writing. Everyone gives their A game as well. Billy Bob Thornton, he really nails it at this villain. He's very cold and calculating, but he has a very odd sense of humor too. So when you're watching him, he's probably the most entertaining aspect. The wild card of it all is Martin Freeman's character. He doesn't exactly strike me as somebody I would want to watch, but it's very intriguing to watch him kind of bumble away in certain things and then make it part of his plan that he actually, can get away with murder. He's just a really hard guy to read. You don't know what he's thinking. You don't know what he's gonna do next. You just know as soon as something comes his way, he goes, oh gosh, darn heck, let me figure something out. Now, if there's any criticisms, any I could give, is beyond everything that's stellar about this show, is that it does start to follow story arcs that I could kind of care less about. Malvo starts taking this job to help some guy who's being blackmailed, played by Oliver Platt. I'm gonna be honest with you, I didn't care. Throughout the entire thing, it did nothing except for explain how Malvo is as a person who's actually like a hitman, almost. And you just see how he's screwing with him once he starts finding out, and then kind of getting on top of the situation. I didn't care. I just didn't. I'm watching this and I'm like, okay, yeah, but I don't know what this is a part of, other than to expand a character. And whether or not, if people who have actually seen Fargo like it, that's fine. It's nothing against you. Just to me, it felt like one of those plot lines that could have been done without. Also, there's about a midway part where, the story is essentially wrapping up and you still got about 2 or 3 episodes left. And unfortunately, it jumps ahead a year And you kind of realize that, yeah, what else could have been done? Only this much time would have to pass before something else comes to a head. But I don't know, a year later, after seeing so much progression, is kind of impersonal to me, but that's just a nitpick, if I could give any. In the end, this show was really a treat to watch. You could see such odd humor coming from it. They were well planned, well executed, and you could get a chuckle even in the darkest of moments. And it works. It absolutely frickin' works. But of course, in the downside of it all, I just don't think this is not really a show for everybody. So it's not as recommendable. But in the end, if I had to give anything to Fargo, is exactly what it is and what it's worth. Black comedy with crime and, character motivation. So I would graciously give Fargo an A. Found out that Fargo is an anthology series, so this is actually it. Like, when it wraps up, that's it. There's nothing else to see. So season 2 is going to be following a whole new set of characters in a totally different situation. So that should be interesting to watch. Have you guys seen Fargo? What did you think about it? Tell me your praises, tell me your woes, all down below. And if you like what you've seen here, please subscribe, and I'll get you more videos as time goes on. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time.